Welcome to Cam Valley for round 5 of the EPRL Bass Pro Shops Cup Series Season 6. On the pole is Chris Summers, and alongside is Courtney Simpson. Starting third is Andrew Schwartz. Charles Jackson starts fourth, and Joshua Balkin rounds out your top 5. The front three all have pretty long winless droughts. For Chris Summers, it's been 56 races. For Courtney Simpson, it's been 42. And for Andrew Schwartz, it's been 63. 63, that's the longest of any driver. Alright, let's get the command to fire engines at Cam Valley.
Drivers, start your engines.
As the cars roll off for 20 laps around this 2-mile road course, very wide road course. We were here last season, so we don't have much history at this track. That's the only time we've ever gone here, but last season we had Stephen Dillon win his second race of the season. That was his second of eventually 5 races that last season, and Chris Summers hoping to win his first race in 56 starts. It's been a long time coming for Chris Summers. Won the championship in season 2, but since then has not had much luck. Same with Courtney Simpson. She won the season 4 championship. Didn't have the greatest season 5. Now she's struggling early here in season 6. But the pace car is in. Here we go. Green flag, and we're underway from Cam Valley. Up through the first 2 corners. The front 3 are single file. Never mind, make that 2 as Andrew Schwartz goes for position from Charles Jackson. Now this is a driver that has not had the greatest start to his career in the Bass Pro Shops Cup Series. Joshua Balkin almost got wrecked. But that's Garrett Jones. He has really had some struggling seasons leading up to this, but the more struggles he has is going to just make when he, well, the more you struggle, I guess, is going to pay off, I guess, when you finally get your championship, or even just a multi-win season, because so far he has gotten 1 win. And here comes Courtney Simpson. Chris Summers under attack from Courtney Simpson. Simpson looking for the lead as we come through the final few corners. To complete the first lap, it looks like Summers is going to hold her off for now. And Chris Summers is going to get a bonus point for leading a lap. Charles Jackson now is going to try to pass Courtney Simpson for second. Coming into this race, Zach Buchanan leads the points by 5 over his teammate Garrett Jones. Let's check in on Buchanan. Oh, he got a little loose coming off of the corner. We got 3 wide, John Dillon in the middle, Cole Freilich on the inside. Kurt Kozlowski is right here running about 17th. That is so far his second best run this season. Now he's side by side with Joseph Clark trying to pass him for position. Zach Buchanan up the track in the 20. He just lost out on, I believe, 2 or 3 positions as Kurt Kozlowski's passing him. Now Danny Wells and Joseph Clark are there as well. 4 wide going into the turn. Back to the front where Chris Summers is going to lead another lap. So if he can lead the most laps, that'd be 2 bonus points for his championship. We're still green, but we got a big scramble here in the back of the field. We had some 3 wide, then Eric Burton slid up, but now he's right back there. Tries to make it 3 wide. That's Mitch Speed on the bottom. He's going to have to give way, and they pretty much stay double file. There's Carter Kozlowski. He's had 2 19th place finishes in a row, but not even close to that 19th position right now, as he is in the 33rd position. Going through the turn. Look at Schwartz go up the track, and Charles Jackson's going to go after him for the third spot. Wait. Oh, Schwartz is actually trying to take that away from Charles Jackson, sorry. And Courtney Simpson, in the meantime, has gone to the lead. Once you get out to a big lead at Cam Valley, it is pretty hard to hunt you back down. So Courtney Simpson is going to lead her first lap of the race and get that bonus point towards her championship and chase. There's Jeffrey Finge. We haven't talked about him much here in this first part of the season. He's a rookie right now, 15th in points, so a pretty solid start for him. Speaking of solid starts, I think solid start is an understatement for this guy. Garrett Jones has been on fire since the start of this season. 17th in the Daytona 500, 18th at Atlanta, so right now you're probably thinking, what's so good about that? Well, then he finished third, and then he won. And that puts him second in points, just short to his teammate Zach Buchanan. But right now, you're looking at your new points leader if this race were to end right now. And I'm sure Buchanan's going to pass a few more cars, but I don't think he's going to pass enough cars to the point where he's going to keep his point lead, considering he's 23rd. He finished 20th last week at Atlanta, so kind of consistent with that. But you can't forget that, wait, I think I said Atlanta, I meant Darlington. Finished 20th at Darlington. But you can't forget that that was a night race, and some of these guys actually run better in the day than the nighttime because of the track conditions. And apparently Zach Buchanan is a lot better during the day because he had 3 top 8s to kick off the season at day races, and now that we've had a few under the lights here, 2 in a row, kind of falling apart, but I wouldn't consider second falling apart after just losing the points. So still a very solid start for Buchanan. Just his last 2 weeks haven't been the greatest for him. But back to the front, where Courtney Simpson has been caught by Chris Summers. Both of these drivers trying to end very long winless droughts, but it's Courtney Simpson continuing to lead that number 48 car. That being Chris Summers. I think I missed a lap. Right now I have... Oh, okay, never mind. I figured it out. And Simpson is going to lead another lap. Chris Summers tried to make the pass, but had to fall back in line. We got some double wide right here. Devin Hargett and Kyle Perry. And I will post a warning thing as to the drivers that have not commented on any of the races up to this point, because you have to comment on 3 of the first 5 to stay in. Look at on the inside of the track. That is Richard Johnson now on the outside of the track. This is our first road course of the season, and Richard Johnson apparently is pretty good at these tracks, along with Kyle Perry. Yeah, a few of these drivers that are just making their debuts on a road course, such as Joshua Balkin, just beat one of the best. He just juked out Greg Jones, and that's pretty difficult to do at this track. If you can remember back to last year, the Jones boys ran very well. And I wouldn't say Phil Jones ran very well, but I just consider the 2 Jones boys, Garrett and Greg. And then, yeah. Coming around, Greg is going to beat Joshua at the line, and he's going to clear him in these corners. I don't really know what corner number it is, so I just kind of guess. So Courtney Simpson has now led 4 laps in this race. Right now, the most of any driver. It's been Courtney Simpson out front for 4 of them. Chris Summers for the first 2. Then Simpson made the pass and has not looked back since. She might need to be looking back here pretty soon because Chris Summers is all over the back bumper, that number 6. Oh, caution is out, and Stephen Dillon and Kyle Smith look to be wrecked. I was just going to see if there was a caution because in the little test race thingy I did, they wrecked on lap 6. Oh, and here comes Chris Summers. If he can lead him back to the line, he would lead the pace laps, and that would put him at the most laps led. And it's going to be Simpson, though, and that's going to clinch the most laps led. Well, I don't think so, but yeah, that's our 5th lap led. We're probably going to have like 3 pace laps or something. So yeah, probably not clinching it yet, but it's going to be pretty close to clinching it. Most laps led. So Stephen Dillon has wrecked, and Kyle Smith, I believe, has also been involved. Let's get you a replay of what happened to bring out the first caution. Alright, here's a slow motion replay. Now Stephen Dillon, last season's winner at this track, runs into the point leader, Zach Buchanan, and basically just spins himself out, goes off into the grass, and I don't know, it seems like we have cautions when we don't need them, and then we don't have cautions when we really do need them, and obviously that one really didn't need to come out, and I'm sure Chris Summers was a little disappointed that one came out, considering it was his teammate and it kind of hurt his shot of winning. And there was Kyle Smith getting knocked out of the way, but he was able to keep it together. That would have looked a little bit like Stephen Dillon if he would have spun out. So caution is out. Let's get back to the restart. Alright, the lights on the pace car are out. Courtney Simpson leads the field as we come to restart on lap number 10. Courtney Simpson the leader, followed by Chris Summers 2nd, Andrew Schwartz 3rd, Jeffrey Finke 4th, and Charles Jackson 5th. Then Garrett Jones 6th, Greg Jones 7th, Joshua Balkin 8th, Kyle Perry 9th, and Richard Johnson rounds out your top 10 for this restart. And yeah, I think Courtney Simpson is now going to be scored. Let here under caution. Yeah, once we come to the restart, it will be 7 laps led for her. It looks like she's going to lead the most laps as long as Summers doesn't make a bold move and pass her on this restart, which we could probably see out of Chris Summers, though, because you know how desperate he's going to be for a win tonight. And even if it's not a win, he's still got to be pretty excited about this 2nd place finish, as long as he stays in 2nd. With Chris Summers' luck, he might get spun on the last turn or something. The green flag waves, and Garrett Jones just made a move to the outside, which is going to be the inside preferred line on Charles Jackson. Will Greg help out his son? Doesn't look like it. Garrett Jones gets loose, and they both clear. Now Joshua Balkin's going to try to pass the 11. Looks like he might. No, he will not. Garrett Jones puts the block, and that was the first double wide battle off the restart. But now back to the leaders. It's going to be Courtney Simpson still out front, coming to lead. It looks like another lap here, which would be her 8th lap led in this race. Courtney Simpson out front, Chris Summers 2nd, Andrew Schwartz 3rd, Jeffrey Finke 4th, and Charles Jackson 5th. So the top 5 has had no change, but then 6th is now Greg Jones, 7th is now Garrett Jones. So those two swapped positions. And now we got a 4-way battle kind of right here. Joshua Balkin leads the 8th position race here, and Richard Johnson is trying to take that 8th position away. Not able to get him just yet, but he's right on his quarter panel and almost wrecked him in that corner. I think these two might have had a little bit of a problem earlier in the race, considering how rough Richard Johnson is racing Joshua right now. Oh, Kyle Perry almost turned him. There's Kurt Kozlowski to the bottom of the track. He made it 3 wide, but I don't think it really paid off. But he's 14th. He was 14th last time they crossed the stripe. Let's see. It looks like that's still about where he is. Of course, John Dillon was 15th, but now he's ahead. So he might be down to 15th, but he still might be there. Now Jordan Apolito, the Daytona 500 champion, trying to pick up a few positions. Kurt Kozlowski, Joseph Clark are battling very hard. There's Cole Freilich. This battle is getting very intense. Kurt Kozlowski right to the rear bumper of John Dillon. He gets loose, and now Joseph Clark's all over the back bumper of the 43. Now John Dillon and Sean Galligan have been able to get themselves single file from this big mess. And Kurt Kozlowski looks like he might finally get clear. of Joseph Clark. Never mind, it's still side by side going into turn number 1. Got a little pair of S's here at the beginning of the lap, and looks like finally gave way to Kurt. And yeah, now Chris Summers has gone back to the lead. And I think he led the lap before too. I'm gonna count that. Now Charles Jackson is gonna attack Courtney Simpson for the 2nd position. Here he comes on Simpson for the 2nd spot. Charles Jackson looking for his first career EPRL Bass Pro Shops Cup Series win. Not able to pass Simpson just yet, but now we got a battle with Greg Jones, Jeffrey Finge, and Garrett Jones. That is for the 4th position. Oh wow, Jeffrey Finge picked up a bunch. Wait, no, that's for the 5th spot, sorry. I was going to say 3 spots at Cam Valley in the middle of the race is kind of difficult to do. Usually they get a lot more spread out than this. These 2007 cars, it is pretty, they're doing pretty good here. They're not really getting single file and just running into each other. A caution is out, and it's Phil Jones, John Worry, Michael Shelton, Jack Richards, Kyle Smith, Zach Buchanan. The point leader is in this. Max Skinner, Stephen Dillon might have got a piece of the action. Wow, big crash deep in the field. And there's more cars. Seth Cole, Jordan Balkin. There's Jack Richards, Phil Jones. Oh, man. Oh, Courtney Simpson. Oh, wait, no, she is going to take that position from Charles Jackson. Okay. And now, with this, Chris Summers might actually lead the most laps. So, every point matters, especially where Chris Summers is in the standings. Because right now he is sitting in the 4th spot, so every point you can get is going to get him closer and closer to locking himself into the chase, which starts in round 21. Final race before the chase will be at Talladega, but still too early to be talking about chase, so let's get you a replay. Alright, here it is. Jordan Balkin just overdrives the corner way too hard, runs into the 25 of Michael Shelton. Then, point leader Zach Buchanan. Wow, Carter Kozlowski, Matthew McMurray, and oh, wow, that was, oh, geez. Oh, there goes the 38 on his lid. We did not see that the first time, even though we didn't even see it the first time. Jordan Balkin flipped over. John Worry there is the 29, last season's champion. Zach Buchanan, one of the favorites to win the championship this year. Phil Jones, Jack Richards. A lot of drivers that had pretty decent cars today are pretty much destroyed. They were running about mid-pack when they all wrecked, and a few of them very deep in the field ended up getting involved as well. So the caution has come out for the 2nd time tonight. Let's hope that is the last time. Let's get you back to the green. Alright, 6 to go as we're going to take the green. Chris Summers leads the field, then Courtney Simpson 2nd, Charles Jackson 3rd, Andrew Schwartz 5th, and Greg Jones in 5th. Then Jeffrey Finge 6th, Garrett Jones 7th, Joshua Balkin 8th, Richard Johnson 9th, and Devin Hargett was supposed to be 10th, but he looks like he might have an issue. And if he does have an issue, that would put Kyle Perry in the 10th position for the restart, but it looks like Devin might get back under power. Well, I don't know. Well, we will probably have Garrett Jones scored as the point leader leaving this race, heading off to race number 6, but yeah, he restarts 7th. Right now, Chris Summers is 1 lap shy of beating Courtney Simpson for the most laps led, and 2 bonus points for leading the most. But the green flag is back out, and a lot of scattering on this restart. Let's see if Courtney Simpson tries to make a move on Chris Summers for the lead. Here she comes. Can she make it stick? No, she goes to the bottom of the track. No grip down there. Summers holds on. Now Greg Jones is going to make a pass on Charles Jackson, and now, like father, like son, trying to get around Charles Jackson. Let's see if Garrett Jones can get the job done. I did a lot of riding Charles Jackson goes up the track. Jeffrey Finge is there as well. A big scatter of cars right here, 3 wide, and then Joshua Balkin, a sandwich in the middle there. Pickle in the middle right now with Joshua Balkin in the middle right now, and they're, I'll go through the field. It looks like everybody is okay. That's just the pace car driving around like he likes to with this truck. Andrew Schwartz trying to take second spot away from Courtney Simpson, and he's going to do it. We were possibly going to go to this track back in season 4, but we decided not to. When we did a test race here, Andrew Schwartz was able to win that race, so obviously he is pretty good at this track. And showing that today as he is running 3rd. This is a run that he needs, considering he's 19th in points. I think Summers might just have this in the bag. Let's see. Fell behind on my lap count. Okay, I caught up. Chris Summers has now led 8 laps compared to Simpson's 7. So if Chris Summers wins, then that would mean 2 weeks in a row we would have the person that led the most laps go to victory lane. But speaking of last week's winner, look at Garrett Jones. Powers up to the 3rd position, and Greg Jones is trying to take that spot from him. These Roush cars are running very well today. Courtney Simpson and Greg Jones running 3rd and 4th. But Garrett Jones trying to make some noise, but he's going to get passed by Greg Jones and Andrew Schwartz. And up the track goes Greg Jones. Garrett Jones going to try to make the pass on him, but we got a battle behind them. That's Kyle Perry and Charles Jackson. Charles was running up in about the 2nd and 3rd positions, and then he kind of faded back here in the later part of this race. And now Zach Buchanan takes it down pit lane. Looks like he might be done for the night. But with 4 laps to go, that's not going to be anything major, considering there's probably not going to be another wreck, and the position that he was going to be in anyways is probably going to stay the same, even with him retiring. This battle is really starting to heat up. Speaking of battles, let's check on this lead battle. There's no battle there because Chris Summers is just driving away. 10th lap led on the night for Chris Summers. And now that clinches the most laps led. Even if Courtney Simpson leads from here on out, she would not be able to do it. And the caution is out. And I think that is going to be the race over. Chris Summers is going to snap a 56 race winless streak. And he's finally going to go to victory lane. Courtney Simpson not too happy about something, and she just beat the back bumper off of Chris Summers there. And it looks like it might be for Devin Hargett. He might have crashed. CJ Sorensen might have been involved in this crash. He's last in points. Not something that he needed. So let's see what happened to bring out the final caution. Alright, here it is. Eric Burton spins out CJ Sorensen. And yeah, that's really all you need to say about that. He spins him out, a perfect save, no damage done to the 40 Coors Light Dodge, but for some reason that brought out a caution. I don't know why, but caution is out. That is the race over. So let's get this live. I don't think I can telecast these last 2 laps. Yeah, I will anyways, okay. So Chris Summers is going to win the race over Courtney Simpson 2nd, Andrew Schwartz 3rd, Garrett Jones 4th, and Greg Jones in the 5th spot. So that is where the Jones boys finished last year, except I believe it was flip-flopped. I think Greg ended up finishing 4th and Garrett was 5th, but they swapped this year, and Garrett Jones is your new points leader. 6th is Jeffrey Finge, 7th Charles Jackson, 8th Richard Johnson, 9th Kyle Perry, and 10th was John Dillon. 11th, Joshua Balkin. 12th, Sean Galligan. 13th, Kurt Kozlowski. That ties him for the best finish of his season. 14th is Julie Stewart. 15th, Jordan Apolito. 16th, Cole Freilich. 17th, Joseph Clark. 18th, Joseph Bryant. 19th, T.O. Bain. 20th was Danny Wells. 21st was Carter Kozlowski. 22nd, C.J. Sanders. 23rd, Brandon Bain. Last week's second place finisher, and he that finished last week. It picked him all the way up to 29th from 42nd in points, and with this finish that might help him out a little bit more, maybe 2 or 3 positions of a gain. Then Dylan Young, 24th, and then Eric Burton, 25th. 26th, Dion Petty. 27th, Drew Austin. 28th, Sean Henley. 29th, Mitch Speed. 30th, Stephen Dillon. 31st, Matthew McMurray. 32nd, Kyle Smith. 33rd, CJ Sorensen. 34th, Devin Hargett. And the point leader is going to finish this race on the lead lap. Zach Buchanan is going to finish in the 35th position, last car in the race. And that has not happened in a long time that Zach Buchanan has finished outside of the top 30. At least it's not happened yet this season, and I don't think it happened in the last part of last season. And with this win, like we said, Chris Summers is going to snap a 56 race winless streak. And whenever there was disappointment at a race, he really just said no surprise. But now he's finally going to get to take his third trip to victory, his fourth trip to victory lane. Last time he did that was at Lucas Oil. Like we said in the beginning of the race, some drivers are better during the night than during the day, just because of the track conditions. And Chris Summers, the last one he got was a night race. So that might be a little bit of a sign that he is better at these night races than during the day. And now the white flag waves here at Cam Valley with Chris Summers for the final time is going to head into turn the first 2 corners up through the S's. Let's see. I'll read off your top 10 in points since you can just kind of watch Chris Summers roll around this track. Zach Buchanan, well, this is not the points after this race. So coming into this race, it was Zach Buchanan leading the points, Garrett Jones second, Kyle Perry third, Chris Summers fourth, and Drew Austin in fifth. Sixth was Richard Johnson, 7th John Dillon, 8th Dion Petty, 9th Jordan Apolito, and 10th was Devin Hargett. The only race up is Daytona, so I don't really know who's in danger of losing their rides. But some drivers that will take over your car, if you have not commented on 3 of the first 5, would be Michael Nemechek. Let's see, they got Jacob Stumpf and oh yeah, and sorry to the 25, that is not supposed to be Michael Shelton. It is Michael Shelton, but I made a mistake and did not notice the comment, the AED of Beast 48. Apparently he's actually supposed to be that car, but yeah, he is going to probably race in race 6, which is going to be at Dover. At least that is the scheduled race. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but Chris Summers is going to snap that 56 race winless streak, and I think he likes the number 56. That's Mark Truex. Courtney Simpson second. Not going to be completely satisfied with that finish, but it's still good enough to help her out majorly in the point standings. You might be wondering why Chris Summers isn't going to be the point leader, considering he's 4th in points and he won this race. Well, Zach Buchanan and Garrett Jones. Buchanan had 144 points, Garrett Jones had 139, then third place Kyle Perry and Chris Summers, I believe, both had 118. No, Kyle Perry had 118, Chris Summers had 116, so they're still pretty far off of the point leaders. So Garrett Jones is going to lead the points, but Chris Summers is going to win at Cam Valley as they cross the line for the final time tonight. This was actually a better race than I was expecting. A lot of the times we only have about one caution in the beginning of the race, and then it's kind of boring for the rest. But Chris Summers going to win for the first time in 56 starts, his 4th win of his career, and he's going to try to make the road to the He's going to try to ride the road to the championship for the 2nd time in his career. There are your finishing results. We already went over your top 35. A few other notables include the Keselowskis. Kurt Keselowski, this ties his best finish of the season. He had 13th at Daytona. Carter Keselowski, 2 19th places in a row, now 21st. So he's been pretty consistent, about in the middle of the pack. There's Dion Petty. Since his win at Atlanta, hasn't had the greatest performance. Well, he had 7th at Auto Club and then 33rd at Darlington. Now, where did he finish tonight? Yeah, 26th. So these last 2 weeks haven't been the greatest for him. And then there's the rest. John Worry. This is going to hurt him in points as he came into this race 7th in the standings. Jack Richards, this is going to hurt him as he was 12th. And he was one of the wild cards, considering 11th and 12th are your 2 wild cards, because all 4 of the drivers that have won are in the chase. And it looks like that's probably going to stay the same. Of course, Ippolito, Ippolito's 15th. Yeah, it looks like every winner so far this season is going to stay in the top 10. 5 different winners after 5 races. That is the first time, I believe, in the last 3 seasons. Because I think in season 4 we had a multi-time winner by now. Season 4, I can't quite remember. I don't know if we had a multi-time winner by this point last season, but Stephen Dillon, I know, was a multi-time winner at this point last season. So for the first time, at least the last 2 seasons, we have a 5, after the first 5 races, 5 different winners. And now it includes Chris Summers. Let's take a look at the celebration screen for the first time since Lucas Oil back in season number 3.